I think I'll do a little customization on this one. I don't normally do this, so I go through, but I know there's quite a few newer players and I don't really know the ins and outs of the customizing, so I was going to do that as part of this playlist. Just a real quick, simple one. I'm not going to go berserk with it, but just show you a couple of things that you might not know if you've not been playing long, that is. So you go to this customise tab at the bottom. Now you'll notice this car already comes with the stripes down the centre line of the car. And what you can do, you can have a look at various options without it actually costing you any gold. If you haven't got much gold, then this is the way to do that. So first of all, you can just click paint and then just turn the car a little bit and you'll see you can pick even the most expensive, which is candy. They start off at gloss, which is only, let's just click one, shall we? 3 gold, and you'll notice that straight away that you lose the stripes. Now that will obviously put a lot of people off because they do like the stripes, especially on something like a Mustang, because it really, that's what Mustangs are all about. Everyone considers the Mustangs to be with that stripe going down the middle. So this will just give you the various options, as long as you don't tick where it says the 8 gold icon. As long as you don't tick that, then it won't actually cost you anything. So you can just have a little look through at various colours to see if you want to pay gold for any of them. Now what I'm going to do on here, in 1 second actually. Right, so anyway, that's it. So if you don't tick it, if you don't actually hit that icon, then it doesn't actually cost you anything. So if we go back on the top left, that will then put it back as it was. So it's not going to cost you anything to have a little look around. Same thing with the wheels. You can have a little look what they look like. Various wheels, and again, as long as you don't tick that icon, they won't actually cost you any gold. As soon as you go back, it will go off again. Now vinyls, when you click this one, you'll see that you've now lost all of the stripes. But if we go back and go to paint and tick official and re-tick this one again, we've now got the stripes back. So you can have a little play about without it actually costing you anything. As long as you don't tick any of the gold icons, you can have a little play about. You can mess about with, let's go to ride height, and that's the same. You can just have a little mess about with it, see what it looks like basically, without actually costing you anything whatsoever. So as long as you don't tick the icon itself, then it won't cost you anything. But I was going to do a quick customization for this, and the reason I'm doing it is just a quick one that people don't realise. I've got other videos about customising, but just to keep this all in one playlist. Now that all I'm going to do is recreate that, the double stripe down the middle, but I'm going to do it in different colours. I'm going to do the car in red, but I want them stripes in gold. Now you can't really do that. You can change it into, where's gloss? So if I do that in red there, then that's fine, but I'm not going to get the gold stripes very well. Depends what colours you want, to be honest. Anyway, so I'm going to go vinyls, confirm. So here, it's always important to click that camera icon as well, so you get it straight. So if you're off straight a little bit, then press the camera icon on the right hand side there, the only one that's not greyed out. That will line it up for you. So chuck a circle on, paint through, that will go right way through. and the colour I want is a middle yellowy goldy colour. Actually I don't want that, do I? I was going to have a look what that colour looks like as my stripes. This is all this is for what the goldy coloured stripes I want. That might be too dark. And that's probably too yellow. Right, so what I want to do is I want to pick a colour right now. See there, gloss red. I've picked gloss red, but you can't see it because it's got a yellow vinyl on it. And you see that's gone off, and it's not changed because I've got that vinyl on. So this I want to remove. I could do that without that, but I don't want to confuse you. Right, so I'm going to go paint first, and I'm going to go for now gloss is only 3 gold. It's like a tomato red, isn't it? Or if I keep pressing the wrong button. So if I go for, I don't want a metallic colour. If I go, sorry, I don't want a matte colour. So if I go metallic, what's that red look like? It's not much different to the other one, is it, to be fair? That's 7 gold. If I go to candy and have a look at the red on there, that's 8 gold. I don't actually like these candy apple colours much. Some people love them, and it's all a personal taste. I don't actually like it much. I'm just going to go for the, I will keep going off of that one. I was going to go for the gloss red. It definitely looks like a tomato colour, doesn't it? Or metallic red. I think I'll go metallic red. So that's going to cost me 7 gold. Now as soon as I click this icon, do you want to purchase this paint job? Now bear in mind, if you change your mind and you want a different colour, say blue, yellow, whatever, then that would cost you another 7 each time you change it. But I'm going to buy that because I'm going to treat myself. Right, so now I want vinyls. So now that's going to be my base colour. So now I want a couple of stripes going through. So what we can, you want to look now for parts of the body that's going to make it easier to line it up. So you could use the emblem on the back there. This one's not got a lot of cars have got a centre line on the roof. This hasn't got that. So it's always easier to line it up on the back as well for some reason, I find anyway. So on the back there we've got the emblem of the horse, and that's always in the centre. And then you've got like a number plate surround there with a archy bit left and right, so you could even them out that way. And what I'll do, I'll then check it round the front. You've got the centre line of the hood there, which is obviously a nice centre line to use. Now if I line it up there, actually that line probably would line up better on the front because you can see that centre line all the way up. So we want a basic and a square. Make that bigger, as big as it, or virtually as big as it goes, because we're going to use most of the car. Move it over to the right, and you can see that centre line there on the top is hitting the centre line but not at the bottom. So we need to turn that by rotating it that way and then move it back over. So you can see there that looks like it's probably not quite lined up, but so if you just obviously do the paint through, it goes all the way through the car, and then do the tick and then look down that centre line. Is that square, and you can check it at the back as well. Hit the camera icon. It's probably slightly off. It wants to go over to the left a bit, or actually tilted. It wants to go, the bottom needs to go more to the right of the car, but only a little bit. So the bottom wants to go to the right. Now this is where it gets quite finicky. Is that too much? That might have got, that might have, just so I can through the camera icon there. That looks like that's gone a little bit too much. That, or is it? It looks like it wants to go a little bit. See what I mean about the front, lining the front up. Although it looks a good line, it seems to be quite hard to actually get it right, for me personally anyway. Try that. Right, now that looks a lot straighter, but it needs to go to the left very slightly, because it's a little bit more to the right of the emblem. Well, that's very nearly there. So what I'm going to do now is, so these stripes, we obviously, right, so we've got it vertically central now. So these stripes need to go either side of the centre line, because we want to leave that little tiny gap there. So I was going to move that over to the right, to about there, and do a tick. Now the next one, I'll do another square. Don't worry about where it is in a moment, because that duplicates the first one. So what I'm going to do is simply move it over to the left, and we should then find a nice little gap up here, there. So you want to move that sort of central. That's like an equal distance. Do a tick. And you just check your roof line there. So that is going through quite centrally. So that looks alright. Right, so then I want on here, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. On this hood line here, you've got this dish in the middle of the hood with the little grid in it. So I'm going to use, from this view up here, the front line of that dish is like a, it's rounded off. So I'm going to use that so it's just about somewhere near the edge of the curve of it as a stripe on both sides. So I know it's going to be equal distance apart. You can pinch and zoom as well, by the way. I'll do that again. You can pinch and zoom in and out. Now if you zoom in, you get a lot better line of things, and you know it's easier to line things up and make them straight and central and what have you. Right, so I want a square now, and I want to pick the car colour again, and all we're going to do is simply again move it over to the right, because they're all duplicated now. Once you get the first one straight, the rest just duplicate. So I'm going to go over to there, just inside the, say on just inside, if you like, the round curvy bit, so somewhere around there, and tick, and do exactly the same on the other side. Just move it across without anything else, because I've already got the first one centered. Now that looks somewhere central, so I'm going to tick that. So if you just look through again, it looks quite central there, and the back is quite reasonably straight, which is obviously what you're looking for. So you could leave it at that, but what I wanted to do was, I actually wanted the red car with gold stripes. So as you can see here, we can see on the car anyway, I've got 2 white stripes, which are the 2 white squares. So I'm going to look at my colour picker. I was going to tick each white square and just change it to what colour I want them stripes to be. So I wanted that middle bottom yellow one, which is a sort of a goldy colour. You can see there that looks like it goes over the whole car. It doesn't. It just changes whatever colour that is. So I'm going to do the same on the other white one. And then tick. That's not going to be everybody's taste. I'm not sure it's mine, but just for this demonstration purposes really. Let's have a look what the other goldy ones look like. Perhaps a yellow. I'll do one yellow and one the darker gold, whatever colour that is. Then, so you've got 2 different ones, and you can then have a little look and think, oh, I prefer that one or that one, whatever. But you might even decide you want to go for a very dark red. Would that look much different? Then that's just like a, you know, it's a very subtle bit of striping. Still got striping, but it's very subtle. You know, all of these things, they are all so personal. But I did say I was going to do red with that.